Right, that should be me live, hopefully. Move that slightly up. Right, that should be me going live. So if you're around, please pop in and say hi. If you're not around, that's okay. I'll be coming on later tonight. So hopefully the light's okay. So this is my first live for a long time. I haven't done a live for a good while. So welcome if you're coming on to do this live craft with me. And please do say hello, because it's always nice to have people saying hello and joining in. So I'm just switching my other device to see if anybody's joining in on the chat. Please do give me a thumbs up and share if that's something you think would other people that you know would enjoy. So let me see, not seeing any of the chat at the minute. So I've got that set up anyway. So I am coming on. Oh, that's not so good. Don't fall down, please. So I'm coming on today to do, I'll just put that at the back there as well, that'll stop that, to do some live crafting. It's something really simple. So I've got two card bases that are 6x6. Obviously I'm using one at a time. So I've just set this up so that people can come on, join in, or just simply sit back and watch. And today I'm just doing this. This is starting at 2 today. I'm also going to be doing it at 7:30 tonight, just to kind of gauge how many people will get involved, and if it's more on an evening, I'll do just the evening. If it's more in the afternoon, I'll just do the afternoon. So I'm just coming on to do something really simple. I know I did say that I would go ahead, but this week, well, already has just been manic. It is only Tuesday, but anyway, that's not your fault. But I thought I'd just come on and do a diagonal fold card, just using some papers from a stash. These were from Stamps by Me a long time ago. I got this paper from Stamps by Me. I can't even remember the stamps that I got with it as well, but it's been in my cupboard for a long time and I need to use it up. Hi Denise, thanks for joining me. Great to see you. I hope you're well. Thanks for your support. So a diagonal fold card is really just diagonally folded. So it's kind of like an easel card, but on the diagonal. So I'm just going to start with the 6x6. This is just a 6x6 piece of card from Hobby Maker. So to make this, it's really easy. So you just want to score between each diagonal edge. So there's 4 edges on a square, obviously. So from one corner to the other, you could do it from the other corner to the other, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to just do this corner. So I'm just making sure it's in the track, and I'm just going to score with my scoring tool. Good news, great news, Denise. Right, so I've done that, and that's really all I need to do at the moment with the base. Oops. Don't spill my coffee. And then I'm just going to fold it down and use my bone folder to just press that down, and then it will stand up. This is how it's going to stand up, and this will be your diagonal fold. There'll be a stopper card here, a stopper just like you would do with an easel card, and yes, So we're just going to, if you're doing this, I'll give you a few minutes while I get my mats and layers ready. So as I say, you can do it the opposite way as well. So it would just mean your fold would come this way instead of the other way. But I'm going to do it on the right. I think that's fine. So it would stand like that. So I'll pop that to the side for a minute. And as I say, they were 6x6. So I want to bring back my card. So this isn't double-sided, it's single-sided. So if that's 6x6, I want to have a little bit of a border. So I'm going to go to 5 3/4. I tend to work in inches, I don't work in centimetres. And I'll just do the same here. So that's going to be going on to here, onto this bit here, because I want to have that nice lacy bit, and then that will come down like that. Oh. So obviously you can do inside as well. So that's one piece. So I need, the best way to do these pieces is, I think, is probably, I'm going to use this piece. So I want to cut it to 6 at the minute. I'm going to cut it to 6x6, and that will be easier because that is the size, obviously, of this part of the card, although it's now folded in half diagonally. Okay, so 6x6. Do you think you'll craft along, Denise, or are you just watching? So we've got that one, and what I need to do is now go just round the edge, and if I want a border again, I can just do 5 3/4 squared, and that will give me a border once I cut it in half. You see what I mean? You'll see what I mean in a minute. So I've cut it in half, and now I want to do exactly the same with the scoring tool. So get rid of the, what do you call it? Get rid of the cutting tool and just put this back in the track so that you can see the point of each. So each point of this diagonal. So that one's not quite in. So make sure that point's there, and this point is just sort of there, and that's what you need to do. And then you're going to score it. Oh wow, accounts. Oh dear. Poor thing. Now, I should have really actually cut it, not scored it. So let's go back and just cut that, because now that's the right size. It should be anyway. Put that to the side as well. So now, this way we're doing it. So now that should fit on to these pieces with a little border around. So that piece will fit onto here, and that piece will fit onto here. I mean, you could absolutely change it if you didn't want this bit, because it's not got much on it. So let's start just popping these on. So get my glue. So this piece on the bottom, now I could have put another layer as well, but this card's quite thick. So no, I'm just going to put this straight down. I think if it had been a bit more flimsy, I would have probably put a extra layer on, but because it's actually quite thick, and the base card is quite thick, so that leaves a nice border. Then we've got this piece, which has got the lacy bit. I mean, I'm trying to think, no, that can't really go that way, can it? So this piece is going to go on there, so that's going to sit up there. I will put something else on the back. I don't think I'll put that one on. So if you've not said hello, it'd be lovely if you could just say hi. And I could say hello back. Don't be frightened now. So putting that piece back, because that's the piece you want to put this onto, like that. Don't get glue everywhere like me. Let's just get a wipe on my fingers. Just a wee wipe here. That's it. So that's going to be, and obviously yours is going to be whatever you've chosen to do. So I don't want to waste this, so I'm thinking I could just put that inside. As I say, you don't have to do inside, but sometimes I think it just finishes the card off. Just doing it the insides. It just looks a bit more professional, if that's what you're looking for anyway. As I say, you don't have to do that at all, but I like it like that. So that's that. Now I need a piece for the back of here. So I've got, thanks. Yeah, they as I say, they're papers I've had for ages in my stash, really a long time. So I think I might do some of the music on the back. So just popping that to the side, popping the glue out the way as well. So this is going to be 6 by 6, this piece, because I cut it to that size when it was in the box. So we need to cut it in half. Well, actually, we need to make it 5 3/4 squared first, because that's what they are, all the papers are, so that we get that little white border there. So, and then I need to do exactly the same, put each diagonal point in the track, like so, and then I'm going to cut it from each end. So I'm going to use this piece for the back of this, so I can just go flat and then put it on like that, or let's see, would this look better? Maybe that would actually look better, because when it's up and standing it will kind of be, let's see, the right way round. Let me see which looks better actually. It doesn't matter, does it? So let's just pop that on as well. Just make sure that fits. Looks like I've not quite cut that right. Weird. Yeah, I don't know if I've cut that right. Should be 5 3/4 all the way round, but anyway, that's okay. Not to worry, it's only going on the back, isn't it? Can always cut that excess off. So that's basically your card. That's what you'll be looking at, something like that. Now usually for up here and down here is going to be the stopper. So usually for something in the middle of this card you can have a sort of focal point there. So it could be a flower, it could just be happy birthday, or it could be thanks, it could be anything really that you wanted it to be. So I'm going to make my stopper first, so before I do my focal point. So I'm thinking I've still got these ones, and I might cut out a few of them just to make my kind of focal point as well. So what I'm thinking is I'll cut out a triangle here for the stopper because of the fact that it's a diagonal fold, and I think that that might look quite nice. So I'm going to go for this piece and I'm going to cut it into a sort of diagonal shape. So let's see. So I'm going to, so this measures 6 by 6, so I'm going to go 5 3/4. Again, I know that doesn't particularly matter at this point because I'm not using the whole piece of 6 by 6 or 5 3/4, but just makes difference to me. So I'm going to find a bit that she says going round and round and round and round. I can cut into kind of a triangle shape. So what I'm really just doing is putting one of the points inside the cutting, the trimmer, and I'm just trying to see that that's a, so I'll do it first. I'll not cut it yet. I'll do it first. So I'm going to just score it, and that is going to make, if you can see, that's a triangle shape there. So I'm going to just cut that now. It's probably not the best triangle, but there we go. Got that. Keep that for something else. So let's just have a look, see what this is like. So thinking putting it that way on a bit of foam tape or cardboard. So I've got a bit of cardboard here which I've been using, trying to be using my stuff up. So I'm just going to cut this into, now I've got another bit here. Well, this is just packaging out of a parcel that I got recently, and I'm just going to kind of, probably should make it more into a square shape, and then just cut across diagonally like that, and then I should be able to put that underneath and that will hold it up. So just pop that on there. Feel free to use foam pads if you don't want to use this. This is just a way of kind of using up, recycling some of your extra card. That I always find we get so much card and so much packaging in a lot of these, especially if you send off or something. So I'm going to just stick this like that. So with the straight edge there, and that edge just there, and then just stick that there. And then that just stops this part from moving forward. Yeah, I've seen a few other people doing this, Denise, and I thought, yeah, it's a good idea just to use up some of your packaging and stuff. So I always keep it now. I mean, I do have foam pads, but I always think this is a good way. So that's that. So now what I want to do is, I could just have a focal point in the middle, which could be happy birthday, whatever. So I will have that, but I also am going to cut out some of these flowers from this paper as well. So put my glue away. Please do say hello if you're crafting along or if you're just sitting watching. There's 3 people here, so I've spoke to Denise, but there is another couple, so just taking a wee sip of my coffee. Please do say hello. And don't be shy. Right, so I'm just going to fussy cut some of these. So So after this card, I'm going to be doing some inking. So if you're crafting along, or just want to watch, that's okay as well, of course. But if you want to join in, I'm going to do some inking on an A4 piece of smooth card. So if you've got a sort of white smooth card and some distress oxides, perfect. A blending brush and maybe some water in a little spray bottle, that would work. And we're going to do some inking, and we might be able to make 6 cards with it. So there's one of these. Let's do another couple. And this is going to take a wee while to do, but it's fine. So just cutting around. These flowers, roses, blue roses. I can't say I've ever really seen blue roses before, but I dare say they must have them. I don't know. Alright, just going to go around these wee flowers as well. So when you're cutting, it's usually the paper that kind of moves and not much. Well, obviously the scissors cut, but it's usually the paper that tends to move. It's easier if you rotate your paper around. So let's just take that off. And what I'm going to do is start popping these on to this part of my card. So I'm just going to do it down flat. I'm just going to pop that on there. Now this isn't hard, it's very easy really. Just knowing how to perhaps place things and put them in a place that's pleasing. So that's okay. Let's cut another couple out. So they're really much the same, these flowers. Let's go for this one. So when I'm on these lives, I plan to really be just an hour on them. I don't really plan to be too long because some folk might get a bit fed up. But if you're crafting along, I suppose you wouldn't, because you'd be enjoying the fun. What else was going on? There's another one. So probably an hour is where I would sort of plan for. I'm just going to go around that quickly and then just add these shortly to the rest of it, and then yep, that would be us done card number 1. I mean, you could make this card actually any size. It doesn't have to be 6 by 6 base. It could be absolutely any size you wanted it. This was just the size I chose. Because these are the card bases sizes that I have. I can make a 5 by 7 as well if I wanted to. So I'll just go around this one as well quickly. So just keep moving your paper around, or card I should say. Obviously you're cutting with the scissors, but to get a better fussy cut, just moving this around as much as you can, just to get a better, as I say, fussy cut. Right, let's put some more of these on. So, put one on there, and let's put one. Let's see, put one here as well. This side. So keep pulling up your card. Just have a look to see what your whatever it is, if it's florals or whatever you're putting on, look like on. And I'm just going to pop this onto here as well, onto this bit. So we've got that kind of same flower going through. So I'm quite happy with that. Now what I want to do is just put these away into the bin, because we don't need these pieces. Put that up there. I like to tidy up as I go along. I really don't like a messy table, if possible. So yes, so I want to put something in between there, which is going to just be a little, let's see if anybody else has joined in. Just taking, I can't see, just checking if anyone's joined in. No, nobody. That's okay, I've still got Denise here, that's great. Thanks Denise for keeping me company. Right, so what I want to do is grab my, I've got some blocks here. I'm just going to put thanks in the middle here. So I'm going to get rid of those, and hopefully this will stick. Let's give it a wee wipe. On that side as well. Right, so I'm just going to do thanks. Now I've got a piece of card here, extra card I should have. Under here somewhere. Yep. There we go. That's fine. And then I'm going to just get my Versavine clears down. I'm just going to find, I think I'm going to do it in Twilight. That will keep in with all the blues. So don't ask me where this stamp's from, I don't have a clue. So let's just do the thanks in the middle, like that. Thank you, it's very kind. There we go, that's a nice thanks, isn't it? Alright, we'll pop that away. Don't get anything on it too much. Let's just put that up there. So, right, so what I want to do is I just want to put thanks in between it. I'm just going to cut it. You could use a punch, a die, something. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to cut it up and do it like that. So I'm going to cut a bit to there, because I want to just pop it in kind of there. It's just basically cutting it down much smaller, and I see that that's squint at that end. Straighten it up a bit, and I'm just going to put thanks just basically on there. So, but I am going to pop it up with some of this card packaging again. So just to make it fit, let's get rid of those. So let's just pull this down and put that onto there. Like that, and then just let's pop it on. Should be fine there. It's a bit squint. There we go. So that is the first card, which is called a diagonal fold easel card. So, yep. So I'm going to actually add, where are they? Some little gems. I'll get rid of those and then we can think about the next card. So some gems first. Let me just get the box. Oh. Let's get the box out. So what do you think, folks? Do let me know. Right, so let's see, we've got different colours of gems. There's a few we could use. We've got sequins. Could maybe put them in just to see. Too big. Not too big. These are new ones. This is where I always take ages to decide on what gems I'm going to have. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's quite a nice colour. See, what's that? I think what I'll do is I'll just go with these ones. So if I find my tweezers, so these ones are going the wrong way, Shirley. These are, I think, Stampin' Up. So I'm just going to put a couple just down there, like that. And then some more on, I'm just going to fold that flat. So one up there, another up here, and one up there, down there even, not up there, down there, that's fine. And I think that's probably all I'm going to put on. I mean, I could do one on this as well, or two. Don't usually overly do it. Suppose I'll put one there. Right, so that is the diagonal fold easel card. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. Hope you'll think about making it, or if maybe you've made it and I'm unaware of it, that's absolutely fine. So let me know your thoughts. So pop that to the side. Now, I asked you, or suggested to you, that if you've got a piece of A4 smooth card of some description, and you got some stamps, I don't know if I said stamps, did I? No, I said distress oxides, whatever colours you want to choose, it doesn't matter really. Probably maybe a sort of green colour, maybe a bit of a light blue colour. So I'm going to choose, where is it? Savage Patina. I'm going to have the shabby shutters. I'm going to try, some squeezed lemonade. I should have these already. And what else I'm going to try? Not sure at the minute. I think that's all at the moment. So I'm going to get a piece of smooth card. This is smooth card that I use, 200 GSM from Pink Frogs Crafts. You also need some blending brushes. And then what we're going to do is, actually, that is not right. You do not need distress oxides. I don't know what I'm saying. It is actually something like VersaFine Clear or archival inks, something that doesn't bleed. I'm getting mixed up. So put that card up there for the minute, out the way, just out the way of the screen and things. I'm going to take another sip of my coffee while you get some supplies. So it's going to be A4 card, white smooth if possible, it doesn't matter if you've not got that, just use what you've got. And then VersaFine clear inks if you've got them, and some stamps with some flowers or anything, any really stamps, because what we're going to do is we're going to do something called, which I call a one sheet wonder. So we're going to stamp along here, stamp up there, but probably turn it round and stamp a bit possibly down there and down there, and then we're going to cut it up and make it into 6 card toppers. Okay, so how does that sound? So I'm going to grab some stamps as well, because I wasn't that prepared today. So bear with me as I do that. Of other stamps, but I'm going to use these today. So I've got these 2 stamp sets. Now these are old Stampin' Up ones. These are the ones I'm going to use today. You don't have to use them. You can use absolutely any stamps you want. So what we'll do, if you're actually going to be thinking about doing this with me, what I want to do is just get this square set, and I'm just going to, so this piece here measures in inches 8 1/4. So to get that in half, we're just going to do a wee score line at 4. Yep, 4. We're just going to do a wee 4. How come that's up there and that's... Did I not do that, did I? 4 1/4, sorry folks, 4 1/4. So let's get this thing, this rubber, out the way. So 4 1/4. Okay, so we can, I'm going to just draw a line down that middle part there. Okay, so just making sure this is just a very faint line. So you know me, I don't really do measurements, but for purposes of this video I'm just going to do it. So I want to do, I'm going to make this, so this long piece of card measures, what does it measure? 11 1/4, well it's actually 11 and 5, 6, 7 eighths, is it? So if I do it at 9 and a half, 9 and a quarter. Let's just see, 9 and a quarter's about there, and then I do it at 6 and a quarter, roughly about here, and I do it at 3 and a quarter. That should give us 6 toppers. Now, as I say, I'm not very good with measurements, so bear with. So it's just to kind of give a grid idea of where to stamp. And it'll probably end up with slightly more than that. So that's what you're kind of aiming for. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 bits. And if it's not in there, it doesn't matter. Right, so I've got these stamps, and they are very well used. I did like them. They're called Delicate Delia. You wouldn't get these now. They've well retired a long time ago. But I did like them, so I just like to keep them. And then I've got this one as well, which is very well retired, very versé. But I always liked these stamps and that nice vine and the script. So I've got that as well. So you can use absolutely any colours you want to as well. So this is a 2-step stamp, but I probably won't do the 2 steps because I probably won't get it right. So I just want to enjoy myself. So I'm going to stick that great big one down onto a block, and then there is a 2-step leaf, which I might do because it's slightly smaller. So that's the first piece, and then this is the sort of outline plate piece. And then we've got some smaller stamps. This is the same thing, that's a 2-step smaller stamp. So that's kind of the bit that's filled in. This is the bit that's the outline. Bear with me as I find that lock. There we go. And then there's various leaves and things and wording. So we'll just leave it at that just now. And this other one, I definitely will use that as well. So I'm going to just pop the leaves onto a block. These blocks are in need of cleaning, so that one's gone on there. Possibly that. I'll probably use this one as well. This nice sort of damask one. Right, let's just go for it and see what happens. So I'm going to start with the biggish flower first. So I'm using Versafine Clear Lilac Bloom. I'm just going to ink that all up. Like that. So I'm just going to go down that line. Now it's going to go over to that side, but that's okay because if you're going to cut there in half, you've got a bit of floral on each part, so that's absolutely fine. So just going for that middle piece like that, and that's a gorgeous stamp. I love it. It's Delia. It's just lovely. I really should have one of these mats underneath, but because these are rubber stamps, it's actually pretty good. So I'm just going to go to this side and do the same like that. So a big flower to start with is a really good starting point. I'm going to put that one slightly further up because it'll just make a different pattern when you come to cut it. that. That didn't quite work there. And then the very same again here, roughly. To move some of these out the way. And I do plan to do other stuff, not just this sort of thing. This is just for today. I do plan to do like fancy folds and things like that. So it's not just going to be this sort of, not that there's anything wrong with simple stamping or anything at all, but just, you know, lots of different things, 3D things, and I will be using lots of different brands as well. So, but you know, just use what you've got in your stash because you're going to get the same outcome anyway. Right, so that's all I'm going to do with this stamp for now. So I'm going to bring in this smaller stamp, and I'm going to, if I can find that, just find this lovely colour down here called Hawthorn Rose. And I'm just going to take my smaller stamp to the ink pad. Usually if it's smaller you would take the stamp to the ink pad like that, and if it's bigger take the ink pad to the actual bigger stamp because it just works better. So I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to do a second generation just here like that. So similar here, second generation up there. So it's just really kind of following the line a bit, you know. Do that properly. So here, one in the middle, like that. One there, one there kind of thing. And I'm just going to do one there and one there. And then one just off the page because you can actually do them off the page as well. Like that. And I'll do that one just up there. So that's that one for just now. And you could just leave it like that because that is actually quite full for cutting. So I'm just going to do these leaves now. So I'm going with, I've got a nicer one, I've got Shady Lane and I've got Rainforest, I think, and then this very pale verdant. So I'm going to go for Rainforest. And just ink that in. So I'm just going to go to there, just there. So I'm not following the line as such on this one. So what I did there, I'm going to just do this on this side, just to there. Like so. So if you're crafting along, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope this is giving you some kind of therapeutic just a little time to yourself. This one I'm just going to do there. And there we go. And then this one I'm going to do it that way instead. So just kind of trying to make it look like it came underneath. Now a lot of these aren't, but just trying to fit that in sort of there and make it look like it's actually part of you know, it's an actual some flowers in the garden that are all together. And then just, so now that you've kind of followed the lines, you don't need to keep following the lines because you've got that structure of the florals. So it's just kind of filling in the bits. That's how, I mean, you could follow that line there just to kind of fill that piece in there. But you don't particularly need to follow that anymore because you've got your big florals if you use something like that to fill up your lines. And I think I might do one more. Let me see where, maybe here actually. And one over there as well. Right. Right, so I'm quite happy with that. And right, so I've got this sort of damask one that I just maybe want to put in between. I don't have to do it, or I could very faintly just have this in the background. So not thinking about the lines at all, just thinking about putting a little bit into the background. So I'm going to use for this, which will be, I'm going to use Morning Mist. If you've not got Morning Mist, use something palish or stamp off first before you put it onto your card. If you've got something like sand dune, you could use that. So Morning Mist is quite a sort of, let me just try and get this to stick. Where's that? Where's that piece off? I don't know where it is. What is the piece off? Just get that out of the way first. So basically, to get these to stick, you should really just wash them in soapy water. But cleaning it off at the back here with a wipe's probably going to work as well. Right, so just put that onto there. Don't know, still a bit not quite working. So I'm going to take this block to the stamp because it's a big stamp. As I said, no, it's still not sticking for some reason. It's being a bit naughty. So I've got this piece of card which I was using yesterday. So just want to stamp off. See, it's not sticking. So let's see what it's like when it's stamped off. So just want this in the background, kind of there. So it's just very faint in the background, like that. Whereas if I'd stamped it, it would have been much more prominent. I'd stamped it first generation. So let's see if we can get this to not fall off again. I'll just see where you want it. I'm going to do it there. I think I'll just have to do it without the block. And then I'm just going to turn this round way, and I'm just going to take this here, stamp it off first, like that, and then see, let's pop this on just there. And that just gives you the same. So you don't always need to put your stamps on a block anyway. Some people don't do it at all. They just use them like this. They just use them in their hands. It's entirely up to the person or whatever they're trying to do. So I'm just going to come down there. So it's just to fill that in very, very slightly. I could do another wee one here. So this is like a 3rd generation. So it's just very, very, very subtle in the background. I don't think we'll get 4th, will we? Just a wee bit. Right, so that's that. And then I don't want to put too much more. I think I'm not going to put the damask thing because I think that's going to be too much. So I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to get the rubber now though. And I'm just going to rub out the lines. So this is quite a good wee gadget. Just got this off Amazon, but I mean any rubber will do. Now, the reason why I've rubbed off the lines is probably not a good idea because you need to see when I'm cutting, so I won't rub them just now because that's the whole point of this live, isn't it? To show you I'm forgetting. So, here I've put the lines. I'm going to cut down these lines. So I should have left that line, but I can still see it very slightly there. So that's it cut up. The next one. So that would give you right away toppers for your cards. No, that's not very straight, so I'll just do that because I can get rid of that. And then this one, we will just do it slightly that way, and you're left with. So where I've done it there, I've not done a very good one, so I think I can cut it slightly further over because I think that would be more in the middle. So you get a topper there, and probably I will need to cut that down a bit actually, and a topper there. So that could go in a card. I'll show you in a minute. I'm just going to... So where you've put your lines, you cut. But on mine, it's not the best because me and measurements just don't mix. I don't really do measurements, folks. I do eyeballing. So I know some people love doing measurements, but I just don't. I just don't like it at all. So what I could do is as well just fold it in half, and that would give me half. So then I would know if I cut there, that's more or less halfway, and that's 2 other toppers. And then the same here, I could do just slightly, just give it a wee crease, and then that's where I'm going to cut to give me my other 2. I mean, they could be made into tags or anything, really. Absolutely anything you could use these for. So just popping that there and like that. Right, so that's that, and that's a really quick way. You could use Christmas stamps, any stamps, you could put die cuts on it, absolutely anything you wanted it to have. So now I'm going to just get rid of all these pencil lines. This is a really fun gadget though, because it's very good for people if you've not got, you know, grip in your hands or something. I think it's good, really good for that. It saves you trying to perhaps use a regular rubber. And it's also good for sort of gluey marks as well. I think I've got most of the ones off here. Okay, Denise, thanks for joining me. See you later. Bye. Right. Worries. So there we go. So I've done that. So as I say, they can be made into cards. So let's see what we can do card-wise. So let's get some paper, some card even. So I've got some silk and weave card here that I can use to make these into cards. So, oops. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So that's quite good. We've got 8 toppers. So what I tend to do is, I don't measure much, as you can see. I've got my little, so that was an A4, I folded it in half, and I'm creasing it down the middle, like so. And then I'm taking one of them. I could put a bit of gold on it or something, but I don't have to. So you can make really quick birthday cards or notelets or whatever you fancied really easily with not too much, tools. So I mean, this card is just, I'm just, as I say, eyeballing it and seeing that looks quite pretty. Let's use that. That does look quite pretty. It could go this way. It could go that way. You could turn it around. It could go that way. It could go any way you wanted it to go. So that's one. So let's try something else. This could go right in the middle of this card as a focal point to the card, if that's what we wanted. I'm going to try and use it to make as many smaller cards as I can. So I'm just really kind of leaving a border around every bit of it. And that is another kind of, it's similar to that one, but it's not quite the same. As I say, you could have it going that way, it could go that away. I could cut it into strips and we could have it as a floating card, which we might do. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got another piece here. I've got more card. So let's look for one with a slightly different, that one's more of a sort of, so what I'm going to do here is just fold that in half, like that, as much as I can. Get my bone folder and just press it down, and that makes a card base. Now I'm thinking about putting it that way. So that's a card base there. So, that is a way we could do it. Or let's see what other ones. I mean, they're all much the same. Or you could have it that away. Oh, no, got it wrong. So it needs to go on this side. Really. So, no, I like that one. That one was nice. So it could be, so let's just cut this slightly because it's not quite right. So just to keep that straight and just to pop that in on there, and I think I'm just going to take a wee bit off that end. So that's ending up at 4 3/4 by 3 1/4 with these pages, this bit here. Oh, hi Jenny. Thanks for coming on. No worries. Thank you. I also did another card first as well, so if you missed that, you can always go back to the replay. But I did this diagonal easel card. So that's quite easy to make, but I did that on the first when we came on at 2. So I'll be coming back on at 7:30 tonight as well. So if you're about then, you can maybe pop on then. If you're not, that's fine. So I need another piece of base card. So this is a different, this is this kind of metallic stuff. So since I just like to eyeball everything, doesn't matter which way we go, just fold that in half at the minute, and then just get my bone folder. Thanks, Jenny. Really nice to have you here, and thanks for saying hello. Hope you're well. So let's have a look. So I've got this one. So we could just cut that slightly as well because it's got a bit of a bevel on the side. So let's just cut that to there, and then just pop that on. So that's quite nice. There. There it goes. So that's 4. We did do 8, so let's see if we can fit one of these on. You can always cut it down. I mean, they're mostly much the same from where I've cut them. I could have gone in with much smaller stamps, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. What I'll do on this one is I'll chop it slightly. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I really like my nail colour too. I don't usually go for pinks, but I just fancied doing something different, you know. So, yeah. I don't even know what it's called, this colour, if you wanted to get it. It's really nice. So that looks good as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've still got another 3 to do. What's the time? Oh, I did say it was only going to be an hour, but it looks like I'm not. So this one I'm going to make into a little tag. So I'm just going to cut off this. So how I get these to be the same, roughly, is if I take the piece I've cut off and I pop it on the opposite side of the card, and then I cut that, and it should be the same size on each, although it doesn't look like it is, but well. So I could pop that on there, or I could pop one of the others on there. Let's just see what would look better. Let's take this out actually, just so I can always get it back if I need it. So we've got these. So let me see what we've got. Yeah, it's quite nice. No, that hasn't worked. It's not quite the same on that side, but that's what it's supposed to do. That looks better. I'll keep cutting until it's no card left. No, that's fine. So there's that one, that one. Oh, I don't think that one. This is the one I could turn it this way as well. Or that one. I think we'll just go for that one. So that is that, and we will. She finds her crocodile, which she lost yesterday for a bit. Anyway, it's fine. Just put a wee. That'll be a tag, and let's pop that to the side. So I've still got 2 left. So I have got, or did have, let's pop these back. Pop these up, not that. Pop that up there just now, out the way. I've got this 6x6 one that I had for the last card. Well, it was a 6x6 base. So I could actually just put these 2 on. Let's see. Too big. Oh my, let me see. So I'm going to just chop this to 5. Take that off. Let me just see. So just popping that. So I'm basically winging it actually. I do wing it quite a lot. Right, I think I might just do that, and I'm going to do some embossing with my, you can do it with your embossing tool, which is this, which you could do on a scoreboard, which I could actually do. So I want the embossing to be on the front. So I'm going to do it down here, down this channel here, and that will, when you turn it around, it will be embossed. So that means this part will be raised up. If I wanted it debossed, I would turn it over to the right side. Would that work? Yes, and I would do the lines down there. So I want it to be raised up, so I'm just going to do a couple of lines at this side. So I've got my tool. You could just use the scoring blade thing you've got in here. I'm just going to use this tool. So that's one at about half an inch, and then I'm just going to move up again another 1/4 of an inch. Hopefully I'm getting it in the right place. Actually, I think we'll just use the scoring tool because but you could use your scoreboard, anything like that. I'm just going to move up again another 1/4 of an inch. So there we go. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let me see what it's like. I might actually just go in between these lines as well, just because I think there's too much of a gap. And then in between that one, so in between here, hopefully you can see that. I'll just make sure it's more in the middle. And just in between that as well. So that will give me some nice embossed lines. Now I want to do it on the bottom here because these two, one was going to go that way and one was going to go this way, but it'd be nice to have just seeing a few bits on the bottom as well. So turning it round, so what I need to do is, so I need to turn it this way but turn it round, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to eyeball it again, starting there, and just, now you should be able to come down to this score line. If you've got this trimmer, where these lines are across should match up, so it won't be really coming much past there, if you see what I mean. And then just going up a tad, and then starting from that line, I don't know if I can show you. So there's a couple of little lines that way as well as this way on this trimmer. So if it's in line with the score, you know you're starting there. See what I mean? It has gone over slightly, but not too bad. So like that, and then I might do one more. Oh, that's a bit not quite right, is it? There we go. I think I've done it the wrong way. I should have done it down here. Never mind. Okay, could just turn it round that way and would have the debossed instead of the embossed. Not to worry. Right, so let's sort of put these together and then it should be done, because actually I said it was only going to be on an hour, but that's now an hour and 10 minutes. But if you don't mind, I don't mind. So I'm thinking maybe I could got some sort of grey black here. That might make it stand out a wee bit. Or what I could actually do is put a little bit of milled lavender or something round the edge. Brushes, where's the brushes? Behind me. It's actually lovely outside here now. It's a bit mixed. I went out earlier for a walk and it was quite mixed, and it was actually a bit, I wasn't sure if it's going to rain or not, but anyway, it didn't come to much. And that's got blue on it. This one. Right, so we've got some milled lavender here, and I'm just going to come in a little bit just on that corner, just so it's not so lost. That's better. And the same. Oh, are you doing the same thing, or are you doing something different, Jenny? Thanks for staying with me. Denise was on earlier, but she had to go, so that was nice. So I'm not too keen on that, but I could actually just get rid of that. Right, let's just wipe that out the way for a minute. Right, so what I'll do is I'm going to pop this down flat. So what I mean by flat is straight onto the card base. So this piece here, this measured roughly 4 by 2 3/4. So roughly that. So just popping that there. So just going to pop that onto that corner, really, using one of these embossed lines just as a kind of guide to just kind of getting it straightish, she says. Here we go. And then this one I'm going to pop up on. Yeah, it's nice with the lavender, isn't it? So I've got these. I pinched your ideas for the packaging. It's a really good idea. So I've got this piece of packaging, which Jenny likes to use, and so do a lot of others, but I've seen Jenny using it quite a bit. So I'm just going to add another bit to the top. And it is a good way of getting rid of your packaging. As I say, you get an awful lot of packaging in parcels that, well, I certainly do these days, and it's just, sometimes I think, oh gosh, really? Do they really need that much? So it could go either way. It could go that away, or it could go the other way. I think I'll just pop it on this way. So once you've done those, just pop more glue onto the back of the packaging, and then I'm just popping this in onto there, this bit here. So it's slightly over there, but that's fine. So that's that card. So now my coffee will be cold, but that's okay. And then I've got a few little stamps here that I'm going to just add. So I've got one that says happy birthday. Now I think I've popped, no, I can use one of these. So this is a kind of, I don't know where, I think I got this from Amazon. And I'm going to use, keeping with the nice purpley colours, I think I'm going to use, what will I use? Grey. I could use the grey actually. So, I mean, just use what you've got in your stash. You don't need to have the same colours as me. So this is Morning Mist, Versifying Clear. And it's just a happy birthday. So I'm just taking the offcuts and I'm just popping it onto here. Like that. There we go. And I'm thinking, now what am I thinking? What am I thinking? I'm just going to just put a wee bit of the milled lavender sort of over this a wee bit, just to keep that colour. And then I'm going to add, right, that's 2 bits, I'll just close that up. Right, let me see where I'm going to pop this. Or am I going to pop it like that? That might be quite nice. I was going to try and cover that bit. So I'm going to get my smaller scissors and I'm just going to cut that end and cut that end. And let me see. That's quite nice. I'd have to do that down flat. I'm wondering if I should make it a... No, squint. Let me see. Yeah, I'll just pop that one flat. What I call flat. I'm just going to pop it under that, just up the side of there. Like that. Okay. And I will definitely finish it off with some gems, but what I want to do is do the rest of the cards that I've got ready and waiting. So pop this to the side just now. So I've got all these to do. So that's one card with that. So that was an A4 and we stamped on it to get all these cards. Good morning. Made by Marley, Desiree. Lovely to have you here. I take it you're somewhere not in the UK. So I'm going to be doing this again, not this particular thing. I might do a couple of different things later at 7:30, sorry, tonight. Just to gauge the fact of doing 2 lives in the same day is just to gauge how many people come on at these times in the day and evening. So it's just, if I'm going to have more people coming on in the evening, I'll just do 1 live on a Tuesday evening. If I'm going to have more people coming on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday, I'll do the 2 o'clock. But I won't do the 2. I'm just doing this to find out when most people are going to come on. So welcome. So you're in Canada near Toronto. Fab. I do have a school friend who lives in Toronto. She lives in a place called Markham. I haven't seen her for a wee few years, but I do keep in touch with her regularly. So I don't know if Markham is near you, but that's where my friend lives. So lovely to have you here. So I'm just going over these ones with some of this milled lavender, just in the corners to take away just a little bit of that starkness of the white, and keeping with the colours. All right, it's not near you. Okay. And there is a subscriber actually here I've got on YouTube, Mary. She is from Canada, She lives, I think it's Richmond Hill that she lives on. And it's Ontario as well, so I don't know if that's near you, but might be, might not be. So there's another little card. So I'm just putting milled lavender on the corners of these, just as I say, to take a bit of the starkness away from the white. So just makes it look a wee bit, just adds an extra era. Ah, right, yeah. So, yeah. So that's that one, and then this one, let's just... So, are you a crafter? Desiree? Am I saying it right? Sorry if I'm not. Dear. Right, let's just get rid of this now. Right. So I've got some nice pink ribbon as well here, I found. And I've got some white as well, so we may put some ribbon on. Definitely put some on for the Desiree. Sorry, Desiree. Okay, nice to have you here. Right, so for this, I've decided that I'm going to corner it. Where's the corner thing? I've definitely got it, there it is. So, I'm going to corner the edges at the bottom, so just here. So that's quite nice. I might actually just corner these as well. Yep. So I'm just going to pop this on as well. So I am in Scotland, as you can probably hear by my accent. Pretty near Edinburgh, sort of in between Edinburgh and Glasgow, if you know where that is. Wrong way. But yes, I have been to Canada. I have some relations in Calgary who I have kept up with. And haven't, they were here, they were actually here last year visiting us. So it's our turn to go over probably next year. You could listen to me all talk all day long. Oh dear, really? Are you sure? Oops. Right, so I'm just getting a wee eyelet to go along with that tag. So where did I put it? So I just need this crocodile now, just to pop the eyelet in. You love my accent. That's very kind. Have you been to Scotland at all? Right, so I've popped that in, and I'm just going to put this pink ribbon. I think Jenny's probably gone off to have a look to see what I did before she came on, perhaps. I don't know. There we go. So that is a tag with it. So that's a card there and a tag. And I've got some more to do, so pop these over to the side and then we can look at them when we're done. I'll pop this over here because it's getting in the way. Oh, Switzerland and Italy, oh fab. I haven't been to Switzerland, but we will be going one day, I hope. I've been to Austria, and I have not been to Italy either, funnily enough. Hi Jenny, are you still there? That's good. I'm still here, you said pink ribbon, I'm going nowhere. Thanks so much. You have family in both. Oh, wow. That's good to have family in both, isn't it? Right, so these are all little, just little, you could be little birthday cards, little notelets, really just whatever you wanted them to be. So, there's that one. So, yeah. Does that go there? So, yes, so we're just going to pop these together now. So quite quickly, and then I'll have to finish up because I have got some things to do as well in between this live and the next live. So this card is on a sort of paralysed, sort of, I don't know what you'd call that, marbled effect. So I'm just going to pop that on. So this could go that way, or it could go that away. Anyway, really, I think I'll probably keep it that way. It's not cut particularly straight, but that's okay. It's a handmade card. So we've got this one as well, which is quite nice. That's came out nice because it's got that part of the flower in it as well. So just pop that one on. This is going to be like a small landscape one. So the paper was stamped on a A4 piece. So this is a stamped paper. Desiree, I'm trying to remember how to pronounce your name, Desiree. So that's stamped with some just stamps I had in my stash. And then this one is going, and then we cut it up into 8 pieces. Well, I cut it up, and if you're crafting long, you would have cut it up. So we're just going to put that one that way. Well, I stamped the paper, I didn't make the paper. The actual paper I stamped onto it with various. If you play the replay, you'll see how I did it. So there we go, and that one, and then let's just see this. I'll just pop it on, and then I can decide what way it's going to go on that. There we go. And then I think this one, I forgot I was going to put the ribbon on it. Now I've forgotten. You're back, Denise. Lovely. I'm still here, even though I said I was only going to be an hour. Ha ha ha. So I want to kind of cover this bit. And I noticed that's actually upside down, but I can cover it this way. So I'm going to just add that onto there, I think, just to kind of cover that piece, I think. Or let me see, is there another way I could do it? I don't know. So I'm going to just cut a piece of ribbon. Pink ribbon, Jenny. Thanks, Denise. They're looking good. I've also done a tag as well, and a slightly different bigger card as well. So there's those two as well. So I could actually just do it over here. So just what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my double-sided tape, and I'm going to just pop some tape on there. That's far too big, Shirley. And just on there. And then I'm going to peel it back with these nails if I can. There we go. Oh. Right. I'm just going to pull that in. Come on. Pull that across. Right, let me just see the front part. It's not actually in the right place. Take that off. Honestly. Right, so it's just to kind of be there. And then this piece should just stick on there. Roughly. Still a bit squint. Oh. There we go, let's just chop this down. You don't need all that on there. Or this. Right. So we're going to make this card open sideways, that's fine. Yeah, it has gone a long way, and that's the good thing about doing a background, make your own paper type thing, because you can have lots of cards. I mean, albeit they're smaller, but you can make bigger, you know, when you're doing the pencil marks on your A4, or sometimes I do it on 12 by 12, you can make them a bit bigger. Right, so what I want to do now is just create a little bow on this. So I always say bunny ears. So, I mean, some other people have their own way of doing it. So bunny ears, I say. And then, because it's quite wee, let me see. Oh, I don't think that's any bigger, that piece. Ooh. I might not be doing an actual bow, I might just be doing this one that goes through like a tie, because I don't think we've quite enough to do bunny ears bows, bunny ear bows. So if I just do that, and then I just cut, I can get a nice cut there, and another cut at this edge, and then I'll just finish off because I'm realising I'm running way over time. I suppose it doesn't matter as long as you're enjoying yourselves. I'm certainly enjoying myself, so it's not very tidy, that one. Keep these bits and keep this piece as well. Put that over there. So that is all the cards, or notelets, whatever you want to call them. So there's 5 of them, and there's a tag, and then a big card, which I've made into a birthday card. Now, there are other things you can do to these. You don't need to just leave them as is. Obviously, you can put happy birthday or thanks or whatever you want to put on them. So I'm going to do a couple that say thanks. So I did this before with this, but I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the green, but I'm going to, I think, we'll see. I'm going to use this. I don't know where this thanks stamp's from. It's from somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure where. So I'm just going to do that. So that'll be one. Let's find another piece here. They would make a great gift set. You're right, Jenny. Definitely. So I'll do 2 in green. And you can see that probably off camera shot. How's the lighting, ladies, actually, just out of interest, because I've got new lighting and it's the biggest lighting that I've ever had. It's like 2 at each side here, so at each side it's like 2 A4 LED lights, and I've also got one that points down from the camera. So I just hope it looks good on my other device that I'm looking through, so hopefully that is good. Right, I've got this happy birthday one, which I'm just going to use because it's on the desk. I'm just going to cut that in half, so I've got 2 pieces. So I'm going to cut some of these down. So as I say, this happy birthday is just from Amazon. It's bright and clear. Great, thanks for that. Good, nice to know that. I've got this lovely, gorgeous Versafine Clear Lilac Bloom, which is my favourite at the minute. Hence why I've used these colours. Hee. I'm just going to do one of them, a couple of them, I think. Just do them on the same bit. Oh, that's a bit splodgy, that one. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need one more. Let's see, what's this? Does this say? What does that say? Oh, that one. Let me see. Oh, this is another happy birthday. So let's just change the colour. So we've also got pink in here, you know. Charming pink. Is it charming pink? Oh, you'll love it. You're gonna love it, Jenny. Might just might be too bright. Let's see. Let's see it on. Yeah, it's probably better. That's not quite as bright. So there we go. So now let's just put these all together. So this one, see if we can chop it a bit. Right, so I'm going to pop that onto there. Okay. Right. So just on top of there, just like that. Here we go. That's one little one to add to that collection. Right, this one, thanks. So I'm going to do this one as a kind of, what do you call it, a fishtail, is it? A fishtail, I think it's called. Yep. Now that's quite big, so I think we need to cut it a bit too big. Still quite big. Let's just chop that a bit more. Yeah, let's pop that onto there. So it's really about what pleases the eye, I always think. You know, if it looks nice to you, pop it down. This is really what crafting is really all about, isn't it? It's about being happy with what you're making. Right. There we go. That's another one. Right, so we've got these three. Alright, I might just pop that straight across there. So just take a wee bit off that edge. Maybe another wee, there's a squint. Squint, you know. Let's see. Or no. Still squint, you know. Right, where's that brush? I'm just going to give it a wee bit of milled lavender. The stuff that's on the brush, I'm not going to do too much, so there we go. Right, that's another little one, and then these two can be happy birthdays. So just trying to cut these down a bit. Right, what way will we have it? I think it needs to go this way, so I'm just deciding what part. Really nice. Let's make this a wee fishtail at both ends actually. So cut up the middle, cut from the corner into the middle at both sides. That gives you your fishtail. Do exactly the same at this side. Like that. And there we go. That should work. I'm going to pop this onto a piece of, actually, this cardboard. Just like that. Let's just move it slightly low. There we go. Oh, that's squint, Shirley. Very slightly, I can see that is squint a bit. That's fine, there we go. And then last one, we're going to just, now, let's see if we can maybe put a happy birthday up the side. Maybe change. Let's just cut it down. Or maybe we could have it that way. Let's see. I'm just going to chop that a bit more. And we could have another wee fishtail at this end. So in the middle, cut from the corner into the middle. Oh. Like so. And there we go. Decisions. I always thought it should go that way, but I'm now thinking, should it? Well, it's going that way. So just popping that on and just in from the side very slightly. There we go. That is our Bonanza cards of 8 cards, 8 little cards or notelets, whatever you want to call them, that I've done using an A4 piece of card. Well, I didn't put that happy birthday. Oh no, I wasn't going to. That was too dark, wasn't it? I'll keep it though for the next time. So yes, I did an A4 stamped background, and I just said to you just to use whatever stamps that you had to make a background as well. And this is what we got. So we got this one. We've got this little one. We've got this big one. We've got a nice tag, which I've not put anything on, but that's okay. We've got another little card, thank you card. Move them up a bit so you can actually see them. Let's see, you've got another birthday card and another thank you card. So that is all I have got time for. Because, as I say, I will be coming on at 7:30 again to just do something else. Probably won't be doing this. I'll be doing something different. I will try and this was the first card I made, this diagonal front shape, just using any papers that you've got in your stash. So that was another card I made. So yeah, I will be coming on at 7:30. So if you miss, please do jump in and say hello. Please do remember to give me a thumbs up. Share it with anybody you think might be interested in doing a craft along. And thank you to Jenny, to Desiree, and to Denise for joining me this afternoon. It was really nice having you there. And I hope you've enjoyed watching and perhaps learned something, I don't know. But thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Take care. Bye. I need to find the door now. How do I get out of here? Ooh, it could be hard.